No Ideas Original Sports. I'm here with Theo. We're here with Jamar Wise. He's
Yes,
with
how
a
you doing?
trainer, a coach, a college player, many other hats or something. How you doing, Jamar?
I'm doing good. And how you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm good over here too as well.
Yeah. So, with all the stuff you're doing, man, tell us about some of the stuff you've been doing. I mean, especially with this COVID stuff and just stuff in general.
Yeah, COVID stuff is a little rough, especially like getting into a gym and doing training like I do. Prior to it, in March, I coach at Roselle Catholic also. We were literally like 2 or 3 games away from winning the state championship when everything shut down. Um, we were about to play Wildwood Catholic for the state championship, and then if we would have won that, it would have went to the tournament champions. You have to win two more to win the state championship. So everything shut down kind of like that week before the game, and then after that, we really didn't do. I didn't really do too much till probably like the middle of summer. Then I kind of like started getting back into the training. I was outside, and then recently we started getting back in the gym a little bit. So
That's good. That's good. I mean, I know, because my son worked with you, some of the different types of players that you've trained and different worked with. Tell us
yeah,
about some of the different players you worked with.
I've worked with NBA players down to small children. Isaiah Briscoe, Nas Reed, Xavier Mumford. Just name a few. Um, we do a lot of, I do a lot of training as far as like we work on shots, ball handling, um, different ways of finishing, different shots off the dribble. Um, I've been doing training for probably about like 10, 12 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so.
So I watched Nas Reed because I got a chance to see him play my son twice. Get the chance to see him at LSU and got a chance to see him play in the league. And I seen his skill sets advance all the way through that time and become, just become a different player, man. Tell me how that came about.
I've been with Nas since his freshman year. We've been working on a lot of different things, and he's been picking up his work ethic every year. Especially went to college. He changed his whole body around. He was like probably like 260, 270 going into college, and then after that summer going into his freshman year, he got down to like 240, 250. He looked like an entirely different player. So he has like a perfect skill set for the NBA now because he can handle the ball, shoot it. Very good passer, 7 feet tall. So right now, that's kind of the way the NBA is moving toward. All the big men are able to be skilled and shoot and do all the other skills like wing guys do. So,
I want to ask you, so far throughout your years of training so far, what skill set do you see that most players need improvement on?
I would probably say the biggest thing would be shooting. A lot of guys don't have the correct fundamentals of shooting, and they also aren't consistent with their shots. Um, Sometimes you can get by with certain things, but the higher levels you go up, the less time you have to shoot the ball. So like small flaws that you can get away with at certain levels, when you get to a higher level, you're not gonna be able to make shots using the same form.
Do you train? Do you have a facility, or do you travel to people's hometown to train them?
A lot of time I use Roselle Catholic High School,
Okay,
but I also travel.
okay, not bad at all.
And so, listen, I seen some video and stuff. I was watching guys in the gym, listen, Briscoe and these guys. How's he making out this year? Because he definitely has like a tremendous skill set and always has. How's he doing?
He's very good. Isaiah is probably one of the better guards I've had around. Right now he's been working really hard. He's trying to get back in the NBA this year. Pretty sure he's gonna get on with somebody. He's gonna go into camp. He hasn't decided what team yet. They're gonna wait till free agency starts and they get done with trades and stuff. See what teams need a point guard, or whatever. But he's gonna try to get back into the NBA this year.
That's great.
What piqued your interest to be a trainer from the get go?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What piqued your interest to be a trainer from the first time you wanted to do it? What piqued your interest to want to be a trainer?
I was just helping out one of the kids that I know, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I was
Nice.
pretty good at it. And then, I've been in the gym a ton of hours. I watch a lot of film, and I'm around other things. So I ended up getting really, really good at it. So that's kind of
Okay.
like how I really got into it. And I love basketball too. I grew up playing, and it's just
Right.
something that keep me around basketball also.
Okay.
So tell us about your basketball career, because I know you played at a high level too.
Yeah. Well, I went to Roselle Catholic High School also. I played there. And then after that, I played at Seton Hall University.
Nice, nice. And how was that experience at Seton
Yeah.
Hall?
Seton Hall was great. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't play a lot, but our star point guard, Andre Barrett, is probably the
Oh,
second best point guard in the country. So, I mean, it was fun. I mean, we, travel around playing and learned a lot of stuff from Coach Orr and from the
Right.
other players on our team. So, I mean, it was a great experience.
Wow. Coach Lewis Orr right now at Georgetown right now, right? Coach Lewis
Yeah.
Orr with Pat Ewing.
He's
Okay.
a first assistant at Georgetown.
Right. Are you guys still in contact? Keep in touch?
Yes, I still talk to him. He comes up to recruit sometimes. Like the high school I coached at, we have a lot of high major players on it. So
Okay.
he's up there recruiting some of the players sometimes.
Nice. Nice.
so as a trainer and stuff, and you're working with these guys or something, who have you found that was the most difficult to work with?
Most difficult to work with?
That's a good one.
Uh, I ain't gonna say anybody's name, but sometimes kids think they know more than you do. So
Okay.
sometimes you gotta let them, do what they do. But
Mm.
usually, once they do something and they see it's not working, and you telling them something and it does start working, they'll kind of like tend to listen to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a staff for your training program?
Right now it's just me.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was thinking about getting one because I want to start doing more as far as having camps and stuff like that. So I'm
Right.
going to try to like put together a staff. I was going to do it more this year, but the COVID happened, so we really
Of
didn't
course.
get
Yes.
to do the camps and stuff like I wanted to. So once everything kind of opens back up, I'm gonna try to like run like a summer camp or something like that.
One more question. During your Big East days, what team you hated the most?
Hated the most? Well, at
Yeah.
that time it
Don't
was
say
Rutgers.
Georgetown, please.
Nah. I was gonna say at that time it was Rutgers. That was an in-state rival, so it was kind of like
Okay.
Okay.
we had the two games. That was when the old Big East, so we played them twice a year. It was
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers, Seton Hall. It was like the crowds going at each other. There was a lot of animosity between the teams and stuff. Like
Right.
it was just one of them kind of like rivalry games.
Nice.
So
Okay.
so you basically playing in the actual time when New York actually had good point guards, when you had
Yeah, there was
Barrett
a lot of good New
Barrett
York point
Cook,
guards.
and you had Barrett Cook and Brown.
Yeah, it's league. Yeah, there was a lot of good point guards came out of New York then. Yeah, Andre Barrett, Talik, Omar Cook. I don't know, it was just a lot of guards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this year as we come up this week, we coming along to the NBA draft, and we got like a lot of different things going on. Not a lot of players we're saying got into these different training camps and these one-on-one workouts. You think that's gonna make a difference in like where some of these guys get drafted?
Yeah, I do, because I mean the evaluations is just off pretty much game tape from last year, and I know for a fact they've been doing a lot of Zoom interviews, but they haven't really had a chance to bring the players in and do the on-court stuff. And when they did the combine, it was all virtual, so the kids didn't actually get to play against each other. So I kind of hurt the evaluations a little bit. So I think it's more for like the kids that have been there for a while or like they're already on the radar or whatever. They also didn't have a tournament because usually there's a few, probably 3, 4 kids that get hot during the tournament and kind of sneak into the draft that way. Like this year, you didn't have that tournament, that name. They led a team in like the Final Four or something, and all of a sudden jumped on the radar, draft board out of nowhere.
Right.
We didn't really have that this year, so a little tough with that. But you know, we'll see how the draft goes. It should be interesting though.
Yeah, I look at it. I kind of feel the same way as you because you figure there's always kids in a tournament who step up and like will drive a team along, and that propels them into the draft. We didn't have that. You don't have the workouts and stuff. So I guess they're going by these different bodies of work. As far as bringing kids in, I was reading something, and some players are saying that they've seen specific teams or something, and then like I think isn't there like a limit of visits that they can make this year or something like that?
Wait, as far as what for the NBA or?
For the NBA, I think you can only like visit X amount of teams, or teams can only have X amount of visits or something like that. Something crazy.
Are you talking about for the pre-draft?
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure if there's a certain limit to how many people you could bring in. I don't think there is though, because they're also evaluating free agents and they also bringing in, usually in like a usual off season, they bring in players they're interested in. They'll bring in free agents. They'll bring in all different types of players. Sometimes they'll be individual. Sometimes it'll be with groups where they're kind of playing against each other and they can kind of see who is better at that way. Or, they use different tactics.
yeah,
Also, another thing that I think might hurt too is even after the draft, they're not going to have summer league either, because summer league is more for like the rookies and guys trying to get into the NBA. It's going to be a little tougher now because like the guys who were kind of like on that border of getting in the NBA or was in it and trying to get back in it are going to have that 10, 12 games in the summer with all the GMs they're watching, that film playing in summer league. So like that I think will hurt also some of the players. Or even like the second round picks, or like second round picks aren't guaranteed. So you got the second round picks, you got the undrafted free agents who two of the guys that trained with me, they ended up getting their way into the NBA last year, undrafted free agents. Chris Silva with Miami Heat, Naz Reid, he was undrafted with Minnesota, and then they both had really good summer leagues, and they signed him right there to 3-year deal.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, both those guys contributed at different points last season too, so that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both end up good in good situations. Minnesota kind of fits in with Nazi. They like to have their big man playing the perimeter, and that's kind of what Nazi does. Chris, that was like the perfect team for him because he's a workhorse, always plays hard, defends, and all over the court. That's the Miami personality. It fits right in.
Yeah. When I look at it this year with the free agents, I'm surprised that the way they're doing I think free agency's happening before the draft this year or around the same time or something like that.
Well, they're gonna start trades. I think trades can be finalized
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
Monday.
I think Monday, right? I think the draft is Tuesday. So I
Yeah.
think, right? Is it Tuesday or Thursday? I'm not sure. I know the draft is this week.
Yeah.
What is
So
it,
I think it's
22nd?
gonna be like the trades, the draft, and then right after the draft is free agency, like the next day. So I mean, their whole off season condensed in quick. It's literally like 78 days or something like that. 78, 80 days between the finals and the next season. So it's kind of rough because usually GMs have a lot more time to do evaluations and get stuff right and look around with the money and you know what I mean? Like
Right.
evaluate the team and see what they need. Now it's all kind of rushed this year. So
Yeah. So some of these top kids in the draft, I mean, I watched some of that stuff, but I mean, some of them seem impressive. Some of them I don't know how I fit. Like, are you really high on Anthony Edwards, the kid from Georgia?
Anthony Edwards is actually very, very good.
Okay.
I went down to the All American game with Khalil Whitney, and
Okay.
he's very impressive. Like Anthony Edwards is very impressive. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's athletic. Put the ball in the basket. He can shoot it. He can defend. I like Anthony Edwards. I mean, it was some bad reports about something, a workout or something he had, but
Yeah, I read that
personally,
too.
from what I've seen, I think he's going to be a very good player. I think he'd probably be like a borderline all star or whatever, like borderline kind of star.
Nice.
He can play.
I agree with you. I like Edwards myself personally. I mean, I read the same draft you read about. You guys a poor workout or subpar workout.
Right. It was
So
something
Dwayne, so Dwayne Wade had a subpar workout, and Pat Riley still drafted him. So
yeah.
I mean, listen, if you like somebody, draft the kid. Yeah, I'm a
He
big fan of
kind of reminds
Evans.
me of Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? Like the athlete, and I think
Yeah,
he's a little bit better shooter as far as like from distance, like coming
right.
into the league. But
Hmm.
like he kind of reminds me of that. You know, he's all over the court. He plays hard. Like, finishes at the basket.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I think he's gonna be a
NBA
good
ready.
player.
Definitely NBA ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of LaMelo Ball? I mean, I think he can do a lot. I just, I'm kind of not sure what team he would fit into well with.
I think the kid is good. Like he's grown. He's about like 6'8", 6'9", point guard. He's played with grown men for the last like 2, 3 years. He's been a professional and he's played at a high level as a professional. Like I think he's gonna be fine in the NBA. To me, he got more of a free skill set. Like his he has that more creativity than his brother, you know, and
Yeah,
he got a little flair with his game. He got that kind of like it factor with him. I think
yeah,
he's going to have a good career.
yeah. I think he will. I like to see somebody like the Knicks slip up there to get him or something. I think that's gonna be hard though, but it would be nice to see that.
Yeah.
Do you think he fits in Minnesota?
I mean,
He
I think he
he
could.
would
Yeah,
because they have uh D'Lo, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
D'Angelo Russell.
Right.
yeah,
So I mean, Russell could play the one or the two, and LaMelo he can also play the one or the two. So I mean, he could fit in either way because they can, you know, either one can run point, one can play the two. They both can score. I think he'd be fine in Minnesota.
yeah. You think Golden State's gonna keep that second pick and take somebody like Wiseman or something like that, or they might try to trade out of that?
I mean, if I'm the Warriors, I would because their small ball used to work because they threw Draymond Green at the five, and they would have Iguodala also, who was like 6'8", 6'7". You know, like not 6'8", we were like 6'7", 6'6". And then Draymond Green could guard big guys, but then on the other end, he made it hard for the big guys to guard him. Last year, the Lakers played small ball with big guys, so like they can match up with you small and throw Anthony Davis, who is 7 feet tall, at the center, and he's a legit three. You know, he's like a 3 or 4. He
Yeah,
can put it on the floor, he can shoot it, he can move. And then they also had Morris 6'10", LeBron 6'9", Kuzma 6'10", even Caldwell Pope and Danny Green 6'6". So like they can play small ball with big guys. I think for the Warriors to compete with the Lakers now, they would need a bigger guy who could play like that. I think Wiseman can do that because like I've seen Wiseman play. He like is more of a finesse big. He doesn't really bang. He likes to play on the wing and face up, and he can shoot the ball pretty well. He puts on the floor decent, you know, and he can move. He legit like 7 foot, 7'1". I think that would fit for them because that's what they need. They need a guy if they can get like a Giannis or something like that. Like if they can get a big guy that can play on the wing and play like that small ball kind of player, then that would help them compete with like the Lakers or whatever. I just think right now they would be too small to play, you know, to beat them in like a series. I don't think they would be big enough to play them.
yeah. What do you think about a guy like Obi Toppin? I mean, he's a 4-year player. Was stayed the full time or something. Last year had a great year. The year before he did fairly well. But sometimes it seems like to me they almost counted against players for staying in school. So it seems like it hurts them in the draft as opposed to coming out. So do
Yeah,
you
I don't
think
understand that. It's they'd rather draft on potential. Personally, I think Obi Toppin's gonna be a very good player too. Like he's solid. He plays hard. I mean, there's certain limitations he has, but I think he can definitely be a starter, NBA starter. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna be like an all-star kind of player. Nah, I don't think so. But I think he's gonna be a very good player in the NBA. Like I think he's gonna be probably like a good rotational player, like uh, be a rotational player on a winning team.
yeah,
He reminds me a little bit of Mario Stoudemire a little bit as far as style of play and as
Right.
far as being exposed a little bit. I won't say be at that level, but as far as the way he looks and style of play, he can shoot a jump shot, maybe a little bit
Mhm.
of 3 point range. I compare it to like a poor man's Mario though,
Yeah, he's very
not to
explosive.
have
He gets
Mario
off
level
the
so to
floor.
speak.
Yeah, he's very explosive. He gets off the floor.
Hmm.
yeah. Right now they got the big man from USC possibly going to Charlotte at 3. I mean, that is, I guess, the wave of the future. The 6'9", 6'10" center or something. A little better movement than before. But I mean, at 3, you think that's I think it's
Eh,
got
I think
Onyeka
that's too
on
high.
Conley.
Me
Maybe,
personally, I think that's too high for him.
yeah, that might be a stretch at 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't seen him play a lot, but just from the film or stuff that I've seen of him, like I think 3 is kind of reaching for it. Um, I don't know, because I think the Hornets need more. You know, like they need a like legit big guy because you got the lefty let's see
Bridges,
his name, big strong dude from Michigan State,
Miles Bridges, Miles
Miles
Bridges.
Bridges. We played them in high school. They came out here. He was at London Prep. That kid's good. I mean, he's
Yeah,
strong athlete, gets off the floor, can shoot it. You got Terry Rozier, you got Monk. So they got a good backcourt. Front court, I think they need a little bit more than like I would think they probably need something else.
I think they should take Edwards for the backcourt. Best player on the
They could do that
board
also.
between him and Graham. Man, I like that a lot.
If
I
if
don't
he's
think he'll be
available,
there
they
though.
might. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be there. I think that him and Ball might be 1 and 2.
Yeah,
You
that's
think you
what
think
I'm
the
thinking. I
Warriors?
mean,
You
he
think the Warriors
could.
going to take? You think the Warriors going to take Anthony Edwards?
I think
Nah,
for the
Wow.
purpose of trading, maybe if they get a good deal, I think it's another team might want Edwards more than they might want
Okay.
like Wiseman or something like that.
I'm
Okay.
Or
thinking Edwards
Ball.
might go 1 though. I'm
Yeah,
just
Edwards
thinking.
may
I
go
mean,
1.
I can see him going 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that too as well. But if he stay at 3 with Charlotte, I think Charlotte should take him. Have a nice backcourt for the future with him and Graham.
Well, yeah, if he's there, I would take him. You know, like
oh
I like
yeah,
him. I like Edwards a lot. So like, I mean, if he's there, I would take him. I just
Yeah,
don't think
those
he'd be
two.
there at the time.
Yeah, those two are bridges, and nice 1, 2, 3 combo right there. I should say, or trio right there. I should say.
Yeah, that's true.
then I think as you go through the draft, you got a couple of guys that like are similar. I mean, you got Patrick Williams and Isaac Okoro.
I think Coral's very good too. He's young. Um, he's from Atlanta. He's solid. Like he's solid. He's gonna play hard. Coach at Auburn, Bruce Pearl loves him.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, like he's a good player though. I think he's kind of like a better Draymond Green, kind of like that. Like
Mm-hmm. Nice comparison.
Then we get down to the next. I like this guy. I think he's pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State.
uh, he's all right. To be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of him. I haven't really
His,
seen a lot. So I'll be honest, I can't really give you a good opinion about him. I
you
just
go
heard
to
people talking about him. I haven't really seen
We
much.
about 6'3", 6'4" Iowa State.
Mhm.
he's he's 6'4". Well, you know how that is. He's 6'5", probably with shoes on, but
Yeah,
in real life he's 6'2", 6'3". But the Knicks don't have good luck with picking point guards and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they think about it. They got Neil Kilo on there. They still have Dennis Smith Jr. You're gonna bring in Halliburton. You got Alfred Payton. I mean,
the Knicks need everything. They need a two.
Right.
They need a four. They need a solid five. Like they need everything.
I mean,
Um,
they got the other guy from Israel. I don't know a lot about him. Denny Adavaja or something like that.
Yeah,
nobody
Tel
knows.
Aviv.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I guess he's the next guy from overseas that we should be looking out for. I mean, some of those guys pan out, but I think some of them take a lot longer than what people think. Not everybody's coming over here being Porzingis or turning into well, I don't know how I don't remember his name from Dallas.
Yeah, but see, the
You
problem
see,
with the Knicks is and this has been probably since Patrick Ewing retired. They don't have a. No, I'm being serious. It's like what, like 99, 2000
hmm
Yeah,
since he left the Knicks. Like they don't have a cultural identity. Like you're just randomly taking players. Like you don't know what's your thing. Like if you look at Miami, what's their identity? Work hard. Everyone's
yeah, they're a tough rugged
overachievers. They
team.
work hard. They grind
Yeah,
out. Lakers, veterans. You know what I mean? They work hard. Brian, you got LeBron. You got the guys who are out here trying to win a ring.
hmm
yeah,
Like you look at the Knicks, you be like, what are they doing? It's like you have no idea. They're going young, or they're getting veterans. Like it's like they just randomly pull players from here, there, here. Like they have no identity. They have no leader. that they gotta get some players that's gonna be start a culture there.
Right.
And then from there, you can draft your players and pick your players up to fit your culture. And that's how you get winning basketball. Like the Warriors, move the ball movement. They had guys that would share the rock and everybody could shoot. That was their identity. They went and got KD. They got the free agents they picked up. Even Sean Livingston, he makes a mid-range shot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they got people to fit into their system.
Yeah,
Teams
the
like
guys
the
that
Knicks, the Kings, they have no identity. They have no system. There's no culture. They just play. So, like, no matter what name you pick, if you look at the last 20 years, no matter what names they put on it, it's always been the same thing. Like, it's just aimlessly out here just playing. And then you be like, oh, they supposed to be better. But it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when you
Makes
had
sense.
Melo, the only time that they were good was when you had a good point guard and was a leader with Jason Kidd. You had Jason
yeah,
Kidd, Rasheed Wallace. They were the leaders. And instead of like bringing in players to put around Melo and build like that, they just wanted Melo to change his game. I'm
yeah,
like, it never made sense to me. Like, why don't you help Melo by bringing in the players he needs to win? Like, get him a leader, a point guard that can lead, and something like that. You know what I mean? Get him the stuff, the pieces around him, instead of just putting random pieces with him and saying this is how we should play, and you got to change your game. It really never makes sense.
the crazy thing about the Knicks too is that a lot of those players that they brought in became better players when they left.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Culture.
Knicks
Look at the
had
teams they went
players.
to.
Yeah, they had players that people didn't realize. Like Trevor Ariza was on the Knicks. The Knicks drafted Trevor Ariza.
Yep.
Never really got a shot. So there's a whole like who's who a list of players who played for the Knicks who, when they left the Knicks, became better players.
But look at the teams they went to. He went to the Lakers. You had Kobe. They had a culture.
Yeah,
He played
yeah,
a role. He went to whatever other teams he went to. Where did he play his role? Defense. He defended, ran the floor, made jump shots. With
yeah,
the Knicks, they had no culture, so it was like he just out there playing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's not like you go there, you have a role. With the Knicks, you're just playing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't really get to see the best out of them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
yeah. I mean, I know one thing. I hope the Knicks don't take a shot on the other French point guard because they got neither kid. They got the other guy, Killian Hayes, coming out, and I'm hoping they don't make that move again. I mean, I was looking at this thing too with the Spurs. They're looking to make like major moves or something. Maybe get rid of DeRozan. I heard Marcus Aldridge is up there, and they're looking to get picks and Kuzma and all this other stuff. I mean, they have an identity. They usually like they move the ball around and they got culture there. But you think it's time for them to blow it up? Maybe start over?
that kind of what they've been doing. You know what I mean? If you look at the players, like the best players are young.
Yeah,
Murray, forgot the other kid, the other guard. But a lot of those players are young. So I mean, if you go and trade Aldridge and come back with another young guy, now you can build off of that. Have Murray, I forgot the other kid's name, and
Yes,
have him
that
as a
too.
big guy. And then you run that system with them and try to get it going like you had with Ginobili and Parker and Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a couple pieces where it's not like it would be a complete rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Like if they can
yeah,
just throw in a couple other young guys or something, like they could be like a year or two off, you know, like where they can actually compete. And like even this year, they was only like a couple games out the playoffs. They were like right there competing at the end of the year. They were probably like a game out or something, 2 games out. They was right there in that the last couple games for the that ninth seed to get in the bubble. You know, like the ninth seed for the playoff.
Right.
They were right there, so it's not like they were like one of the last place teams or anything. So I don't think
yeah,
they're too far off.
yeah. They had. I think you're talking about Derek White. Derek
Right?
White,
Yeah, right.
and I think Lonnie Walker's not too bad either.
Yeah.
Kid,
Nah, he's from Jersey too.
Yeah. Lonnie's pretty good. I like Lonnie.
yeah,
Yeah. He's from either Jersey, New York, right? Like
yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing him. I actually see. That was surprising to me. I actually went to that Jordan Brand Classic, and Lonnie was actually the MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic.
yeah.
So
Yeah, he was. Now he
he
can
got
play though.
yeah. Then you got what's that? You got the Kings again drafting players like like you said, they don't have a culture, but they're looking at like taking Sadiq Bey from Villanova, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't even see where he would fit in there. I mean, don't they have Harrison Barnes? They're still trying to re-sign Bogdanovich.
Wait,
So
I'm sorry. Who the Bucks?
the Kings.
Oh, the
Kings.
Kings.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is like, what are we looking for? No, I'm saying is like, as the Kings, is like, what kind of player are you looking for? Because like, they're having trouble with Buddy Hield as far as personality wise. Him and the coach is clashing. So it's like, I don't even know what kind of direction they're gonna go in.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy Hill, they would have been smart of them not to make that public because it makes it a lot harder to trade him and
Exactly.
lowers the value when you start getting out there and you guys are like, let's say, basically arguing in the media. I think Buddy Hill was saying I think they basically said they sat him down because he wasn't his defense, so they had him coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody like they think they just gave him a big deal too.
Right.
Yeah, they
Sure
did.
did.
They just gave him a lot of money. But
Uh,
the good thing though, like when you get in Villanova guys, you know they well coached, fundamental, like they go and play hard. Like Jay Wright got their system going, and that's why I go back to culture. Villanova, you know what you're gonna get. If you get a Villanova player, you know what kind of player you're gonna get.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if you look at it, all the players that they brought in the league, they all play hard. You know they fundamental. They're not gonna do nothing out of character. You know what I'm saying? So like you know
Right.
what kind of player you're gonna get.
yeah. They're
That's what
good
Kings
piece
got to
on
start getting like a culture going where they know what kind of guys they need to fill voids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
if you look at all the good teams, they all have an identity. Bucks defense. You know what I mean? Like all those teams have some type of identity what they do.
yeah.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Then we got a couple of other guys like we got guys like Cole Anthony. I mean, I think he's kind of getting a raw deal. I seen Cole Anthony play in high school. I seen him play in the circuit. I actually seen Cole Anthony play against my son when they were kids and stuff. I think sometimes people's desire to win becomes misplaced, and it seems like maybe a negative thing. Maybe it manifests itself in a way that doesn't look good. But I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of his stuff has a desire to win, and I think maybe he came back from North Carolina from the injury possibly too quick.
I think so too. Cause I don't know what exactly happened in North Carolina. Cause like Cole Anthony, I've seen a lot of since like he was a freshman in high school. Like the kid can play. You know what I mean? And like it's not like he was just beating up on high school kids. Like he can like really play. Like, athletic, finish at the basket. He can shoot the ball. Got good vision. Can pass it. I think whoever drafts him will get a good player, and they're probably gonna get a steal because he's probably gonna go late first round, maybe second round.
Yeah,
He was kind of our best player, I thought, personally, as a freshman, personally, until he got hurt. When he got hurt, he lost every game just about, and we came back. He got a little bit better, though. But for what I've seen his freshman year, he was great, man. Best player team by far, without
Yeah,
question.
he played great at the beginning, and then he got hurt, and then I didn't really see too much after that because that was kind of like when our season started. So
Right.
like I didn't really watch too much of the college games, but like I mean the kid can flat out play. You know, I've seen a lot of them.
yeah. I seen a lot of them. I think he just wants to win, and I think when he came back, he probably wasn't playing at full strength. And was
Mm-hmm.
him and was I think, like you said, some of them get a really good player a lot later than possibly they could have. Because before this happened, he was easily a lottery pick. They had him like at the top 10 easy before all of this stuff happened in North Carolina. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and him coming out of high school, he probably have been a top 5 pick if they'd have just let him come out
Oh,
of high
easy.
school.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
easy. He got MVP of the All American game that year.
Right.
That
yeah,
was the same with Anthony last year. It was Anthony Edwards, him, Wiseman, Khalil Whitney. That was that All Star game in Atlanta like 2 years ago. Like, yeah.
Can you see him dropping in the first round to the Knicks 27th pick?
He could. I mean, I don't think they'll pick him like lottery, but I could see him like late first round.
Yeah.
I don't personally. I think he talent wise, he should be toward the lottery type top
yeah,
15 pick.
Right.
But like as far as what he did at North Carolina, you know, from what everyone's saying, I didn't really see too much of the second half of the year. But like you know, everyone's saying his stock kind of dropped as far as like getting drafted. So I mean, but talent wise, I
Mm.
think he's a top 15 player.
If he's there late in the first round, I think New York should pick him up.
And sure, he's back home. Um, you know, I think that definitely be a good pick.
Right.
yeah.
Give the fans something, you know what I mean, something to look forward to.
Right.
It's been tough being a Knicks fan for a lot of New Yorkers.
He got good pedigree. His dad got good pedigree too. You know, he knows the game, so
Yeah,
he's there lately first round, man. Hopefully we could take him up.
yeah.
You know, it's funny. We got another local guy. What's him? He actually went to school away, but he's from New York. Precious Achua. Well, I
Oh
think
yeah, he went to Benedict.
yeah.
He's good. He's solid. He's about like 6'9", big kid. We played against him a couple times. Like he's solid. Got good weight on him. Athletic. He can finish. Very very good mid range shot. Three is pretty good. It's not bad. But he's
I
solid. I
think
think
he
he'll be a first
benefited a
round pick.
lot. He benefited a lot by Wiseman leaving or
Oh
not being able to
yeah.
play. Yeah,
He definitely got the ball a lot more than he would have if Wiseman was still there.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, but he could play though. He's solid. He's gonna be a first round pick.
What do you think of Tyrese Maxey? Because I know in AAU he was a rising star, but I know when he got to Kentucky, I didn't think he would be that good. I knew he could play, but I didn't know he was going to be that good.
Now Tyrese could play, man. It was Khalil Whitney's roommate. One of the guys I train or whatever. So I watched a lot of Kentucky stuff. Now he's solid. He can shoot the ball. He's athletic. He plays hard. He's all over the floor. Little on the size for the two because he's about like 6'3", 6'4", but like he's a very good player though. He'll put the ball in the basket.
Mm.
Kind of reminds me of not a little bit like Murray, but not as good of a shooter as Murray.
Gotcha.
Like coming out of school, I'm just saying Murray coming out of school. Like right now, Murray's like on another level right now.
Right.
But like coming out of Kentucky right now, like I think Murray had a better shot, but I think they're kind of like similar, like style wise, kind of similar players.
Maybe if New York go trade down, might pick him. Never know. Never know.
Yeah, you never know.
So we had LaMelo Ball go play overseas, and you had R.J. Hampton play overseas too. You think RJ benefited R.J. Hampton playing overseas, or how do you think that'll help him in the draft?
So I mean, it kind of benefits as far as you have to have the professional mindset. Like you kind of learn like you're not playing with kids anymore. You're playing with grown men, and they're out here trying to provide for their family, and there's nobody out here trying to be friends. Like they trying to make this money. Like you might get the ball, you might not. You know what I mean? So like being that it's kind of out of the area, you can't really see too many of the games. I don't know how much he was getting the ball. I know when lefty point guard played for the Bucks. From California. He was in the NBA for a while.
Not Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, Brandon Jennings.
Yeah.
He hated being overseas because they wouldn't give him the ball as much. You know, like he didn't really get to play his game because they were looking at him like he a kid and he's a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, why is this kid over here trying to take my money away? Like, so I mean, I don't know how much of that happened when he was there. So I don't know about how much he actually got to develop and play over there. So I mean, it could have been good, but it might not have been. Like Ball, he had the ball in his hands. He was a point guard, and he wasn't on like the top level. You know what I mean? Like when he first went over there, he played in like one of them like weird countries where it wasn't like the top level.
Australia.
No, he didn't go to Australia first. Remember, he went to I don't know, some country by Russia.
Yeah, where his dad was trying to get his other brother on it. Yeah,
and that wasn't the top level over there. So he got to kind of ease into it. So he had the ball in his hands all the time, so he did whatever he wanted. When he went to Australia, he was going as a professional already. So it was a little more with like, I've seen him do this already against men. And he's a point guard. He came over there with his camera, you know what I mean? Like, with that name and everything already. Hampton's going over there from high school, you know what I mean? So it was like a little bit different.
A little different, right.
Right. So I don't know how much they actually gave him the ball and let him play. So I don't know how much he actually got to develop on the court. But I know you kind of develop mentally as far as like, this is a business, you know what I mean? So you kind of know like the business part of it.
I've seen mock drafts having going top 15, top 18 in the first round. The various mock drafts that I've seen online.
Okay.
Yeah. You know who surprised me? It seems like I thought he was a little better, but it looks like he's teetering on the end of first round, maybe second round. The center from Duke, Vernon Carey. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
he looked
Vernon.
pretty. I thought he looked pretty good.
He's pretty good. He kind of he's kind of like the center the Bulls drafted.
Yeah. Um.
You know what I'm talking
Right,
about?
Wendell Carter.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter. He
Yeah.
kind of plays like that. You know, like big body, he plays down low, like bruiser.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really like the guys that play now, as far as like the bigs they look for now, as far as like playing on the wing and that kind of stuff. But he's like an actual big man. Like he's gonna get down on the block. He got a pretty good mid-range shot, but he's not gonna stretch out and shoot a bunch of threes or nothing like that. Like,
Right.
but he's solid. He's gonna bang.
I mean, it's got to be tough for some of these kids that are like high prospects coming into college and then leaving school and stuff like that. I mean, like I give remember Cassius Stanley?
Yeah.
He went to Duke. He looks like he might be a second round pick or something.
Yeah, he's gonna be late. Only thing with Cassie was he was kind of old to begin with, so he was. I think he was like 21 now.
Yeah, I think he is. You're right.
So like, I mean, technically he's a freshman, but he's really more like a junior. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not really drafting one as much as potential as if you had a 19-year-old that was over there. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's more like I'm drafting on what I saw him do. You know, like he's an athlete, erratic shooting, decent ball handling, all right defender. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not like you're looking at him like a 19-year-old. Like, 2-3 years from now, he grow into his body. Now, like, you know what I mean? It might be something different. He's already like 21, 22, and it's like what he is what he is. You know, not to say that he can't get better, but it's like that's what you're working with. You know what I mean? It's not like you have a lot of upside at that point. So
Yeah, you know what? That's true. 2 to 3 years from now, they're gonna be looking for him to try to turn into his prime to get towards the prime.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of why his stock kind of dropped because he's a little bit older. So
I mean, then you got other guys like Udoka Azubuike from Kansas. I mean, I think he falls into what you're saying. I don't think he's the type of big man that the league is really going towards anymore.
yes. Yeah, that's it. That's I feel bad for them guys because it's kind of like you never know if it's gonna go back to that. But right now, it's like everyone's looking for that big guy who can be like a Porzingis or like someone like that, DeMarcus Cousins, where they can play out on the wing and play in space, and everything in the NBA is pick and roll now. So you got to be able to switch and guard a guard. You know what I mean? Like you got to be a big guy that can move.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, fellas. You guys ever seen Isaiah Stewart play for Washington?
I was just about to talk about it from Washington.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yo, that dude is huge. I'm talking about weight wise. Oh my god, he rebound. He's a grown man. Like when I was at the All American game, he was pushing Wiseman all over the place. No, for real. Like he was putting that body on him. It was really like nothing he could do. He started shooting jump shots and stepped out. He stepped right out the post. That kid rebounds. He can defend. A little undersized. He's about like 6'9", but like I think he'll be a solid role guy. You know what I mean? Like he'll definitely gonna rebound, definitely gonna defend. I think
plays hard.
Huh?
He plays hard. They say he plays hard, very hard. He plays.
Oh, he plays very hard.
Yeah.
He's not gonna give you a lot of points, but he can definitely defend and rebound. Kind of like PJ Tucker, but bigger. You know what I mean? Like
okay. I'll take that.
Something like that, kind of.
I mean, then you got a couple of guys from like big time programs that perform fairly well. That you got like Trey Jones and Jordan Wall and stuff like that. That they might have decent NBA careers if they can find the right team.
That's the thing with the NBA. It's all about fit. You know what I mean? Like you could be, if you get in the right fit, that could make your career. Just like when I was saying with Chris Silva, how he ended up with Miami. Perfect team. He had that same personality, work hard, defend, move, run the floor. He could have got drafted or signed by a team where he would have just got buried and never got to play, and you wouldn't even see him. You'd be out the league in like a year, be in the G League or something. So it's all about fit. Even with I can't think of my man with the Lakers, the white kid came from the
Caruso?
Yeah, Caruso, yep.
A bunch of other teams, he'd be out the league. You know what I
That's
mean? But with the Lakers, now he a championship point guard in the rotation, 6-7 men. It's all
You
about
know,
fit.
I seen a lot of ball with Trey Jones at Duke, and I really try to hate on him. And but he turned me to a fan. I mean, like the kid is consistent, don't turn the ball over, plays good defense. I don't think he's a great shooter, but he's maybe a good shot maker. I say a clutch maker at a certain time during the game when he need a big basket. He makes the layup, makes the jump shot, maybe makes the correct pass. So I'll turn into a Trey Jones fan. So if he's there late in the first round or second round, hopefully my team Knicks will get him for
I
sure.
think he'll
I like
probably
Trey
be like a
Jones.
second round. I think he'll probably go in the second round just from his size. You know, just because of his size. I think he'll
Okay.
be like a second round pick.
Okay.
we got
He kind of
another
reminds me of
local
like
product.
Tremont Waters from
Oh
LSU
yeah,
last year.
that's
Yeah, I
another
think
guy.
Tremont make a little, he's a better shooter. A little bit
Yeah.
better shooter, but he kind of reminds me of that kind of like skill set.
We got another local guy, Nick Richards. I know you faced him a lot of times, so you
Yeah,
got a
Big Nick.
chance to see him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's projected as a second rounder. I mean, the last year when I seen him, it looked like one of his best years in college. Last year, it looked like he really started to get a role on the team.
yeah.
The first 2 years, it seemed like they were trying to still figure out where he fits in. But last year, it looked like he kind of had a role on the team.
Yeah, Nick can play. He's solid. He play hard, very athletic, gets off the floor, can run the floor. Um, Finally got his little confidence because his freshman year, sophomore year, freshman year, he kind of had a lack of confidence. He was never like, even in high school, he was never really an offensive player. Very good defender with block shots, with rebound, ran the floor, but he never really had like post moves or could finish around the basket like that unless it was a dunk. And then freshman year at Kentucky, kind of struggled a little bit as far as like playing in the post, as far as post moves and stuff like that. Sophomore year, they didn't really play him that much. And even last year, if the kid, they were trying to bring in a senior,
Yeah,
a grad transfer, and being that they didn't get him, he actually got to play, and then he finally got to show what he can do. But had they brought that grad transfer in, he probably would have been sitting on the bench again. He probably wouldn't even played.
yeah,
So that's what the whole thing would fit. You know what I mean? It's like, and a lot of times people aren't patient with kids anymore. So it's like sometimes you gotta grow into your game. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, you work and get to where you need to get to. But a lot of people don't want to wait on it. They want it
Right.
immediately. Like you want you right now, and as soon as you come, you're supposed to jump in. But that's not the way everybody is. Sometimes it takes a little time to get into it. Get into what you can do.
Right.
I mean, they got another senior out there. I think is another case again of fit and style of play. You got Cassius Winston from Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can definitely play, but he reminds me kind of like an older style point guard.
It reminds me of Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He reminds me of Mateen Cleaves. And I mean, I guess that there is a role in the NBA, but the game is a little different now at the NBA level. So
I think he got to get in the same thing with fit. Like if he get to like a Toronto or something like that, like a team where a workhorse kind of team, and where it's like not about the stars. It's just like you gotta get out here, just play a role. Everybody play kind of like how Van Vliet jumped on the scene. But if it's like he get put on a team where he got to be out there and be the man and make stuff happen, I don't know if he got that kind of skill set where he's just going to go into the NBA and just make stuff happen like that.
I like him a
I
lot,
think
though,
he could be
honestly.
a
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be
Cassius.
a good role player. I don't know if he like got that star with him. You know what I mean? Where like
Right.
you throw him on a team where like I'm drafting him to be the man. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's that kind of player though.
Yeah. I think Kenyatta hit it on the head when we said like a kind of like an old school kind of game. Because when I see him play, I think of Sam Cassell, honestly, for some reason when I see him play. I always think about Sam Cassell when I see him play at Michigan State for some reason. That old school game, herky jerky, mid range game for the free throw
Yeah, that
line.
mid-range.
Yeah. So I see him play, I think of Sam Cassell all the time, man. All the time.
But the thing with the NBA now is they don't really like guys that shoot the mid range for some reason. Right?
Right. Right.
and you know what's funny about that? The best players in the game are the guys who make the mid range.
Exactly, it's true. Because like when you try to get a shot, like CJ McCallum or something like that, you got to get into that mid range and get a pull up. You're not gonna be always get to the basket, and you don't want to just sit back chucking threes. It's not a high percentage shot. So I mean,
Yeah, the NBA is chuck threes or force it to the basket and complain with the ref.
Right.
Let me run into the 7-footer and fall down and then blame it on the 7-footer. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, you got some guys that can finish over the top, but it's a smaller handful of those than it is the ones that actually go in there and can tussle with these big guys in the paint. So why not beat the first guy, pull up and hit the shot as opposed to running into the defense or something like that?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, throughout the rest of the draft, you got like a whole scattering of guys who like either great high school players or great guys you hear about in AAU like Josh Green and you got the different guys from Emmanuel Quigley and Ashton Higgins from Kentucky. And I
Mhm.
think these are guys again that's all fit guys too that they got to
Right.
find the right spot for.
But that's the way the NBA is. Like it's all fit. You end up on a like that dude Ntilikina with the Knicks. If he would have ended up like on the Spurs or something like that, where he could actually just play defense and whatever, I think he would have a better career than him being on the Knicks where they give him the ball and now I need someone to like make a play when that's not his game. You know what I'm saying? So like now everybody thinks he's a bust. Where like if he would have went to a team like Toronto or something like that, or even the Bucks where he could have just played defense and played a role. You know what I mean? Get his little 4 or 5 points a game over here and play defense, play his role. You know what I mean? They might have looked at his
Mhm.
career different.
When I look at these guys that they're drafting, I look at like some of the younger guys that's getting drafted that are freshmen and stuff. And Jamal, I'm gonna take it back to you. And I look at what I seen Khalil do up close and personal, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see any reason why he couldn't sneak into one of these positions or something. If they solely look at his body of work or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and not try to gauge it again on that Kentucky fit thing or something, I don't see a reason why he couldn't sneak into one. I mean, he's
I mean,
definitely one of the top athletes in this draft. That's easily, it's easily there. So.
I mean, I mean, he's 19 years old, or about to just turned 20. Like 6'7", 7 foot wingspan, got like a 40 something vertical. I think someone will give him a shot, even if he doesn't get drafted.
Yeah,
He'll probably get like a two-way, get something like that. Just get a foot in the door. And I think he can defend, and he's been working really hard. His offensive game has gotten better. Um, and it goes back to fit. I just didn't think it was a good fit with Kentucky. So it was kind of like they didn't really run stuff for him. So it was kind of like he was standing out by 3 point line, kind of like drifting around instead of using athleticism. And you know what I mean? Like he's a very good mid range shooter.
Mhm.
3 point shooting is, it's pretty good, but it's not like where that should be a majority of your shots right now. But he definitely has improved it since the season ended. He's been working hard since like March till now. He's still in the gym. He's been in Miami. He was up here working out with me. He's been in Chicago. He's been all over the place working out. Cleveland. He looks really good right now. So I mean, he's had a bunch of interviews with teams. So I'm thinking somebody will give him a chance.
that's great. I think what we're saying too is that Kentucky's a tough crowd because I know even Quade Green, another
Oh
guy
yeah,
that
and I
went to
love Quade, man. Quade was good. I've seen a lot of him since high school because we used to be at
yeah.
a lot of camps I was at, and I'm like, that kid is good. Like I didn't think Kentucky was a good fit for him either.
Yeah, you see, he went on to Washington. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think Kentucky's a tough crowd for players.
Yeah, but I knew he was gonna end up like over. Cause Mike Hopkins, when he was at Syracuse, was recruiting him heavy, and then when Mike got the job out in Washington, I knew he kind of would bring him in. But like Quade is he's good. He can play. Like he is
Yeah,
solid. Kind of like a Chris Paul kind of like he can floor general, control the floor. He can score also. Like very heady, smart point guard. But he was never like that, like super athlete, play up and down
yeah,
fast. Like
Right.
that's more like the Kentucky point guards where they up and down and you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
try to score quick, play fast. Like I don't know. I just didn't think it was a good fit for Quade.
yeah. I watched a lot of him too. Like you said, he seemed more like a floor general type of guy.
Yeah, he plays with like pace and stuff like that. Like he's not really like burner up and down, like play crazy. Like frantic. He's not that kind of player. So
I mean, I watched him playing like the EYBL and just like literally at times do things where he carry the team just not only offensively but the things he does. So
mm.
that yeah, Kentucky again is a different type of animal.
Yeah, like it's tough. I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong with Kentucky. I mean, it's a great
Yeah,
program. They got a ton of talent. It's
yeah,
just, sometimes it's just fit. Sometimes the kids just don't fit in there.
yeah. They have a certain style of play, but a
And
great
the whole
again
thing
great
is,
program.
and that
You,
same
you,
thing as far as like some kids, you may take a year or two. At Kentucky, that's not a school where like you can take time. You know what I mean? It's like you got to come in right off the rip because next year, like this year, they had Boston come in. They had other wings and other guard. You know what I mean? Like they got
yeah,
a top 10. Or either they were the top class, I think,
yeah.
Last year.
coming in.
22.
So it's like if you get stuck there, then you know what I mean. Not don't even know if you're gonna play next year. You know what I mean? It's like that. So it's a little tough.
That definitely is. So, what do you, in the draft and free agency, you expect to see any surprises, or what would you say? What do you think you're gonna see this week happen?
Um, you might see some surprises. Like I know the Clippers are looking to get a point guard, and then with the Lakers just trading for Schroeder, that probably means Rondo's probably leaving. So I don't know if he's gonna end up in with the Clippers or where he's gonna end up, but you definitely gonna see some movement. I know a lot of teams are just trying to get Giannis to leave the Bucks, and you never know. You might see like a big move somewhere.
Yeah, I'm hearing about the crazy James Harden trade to Brooklyn.
Yeah, they're talking about going to Brooklyn. I mean, I don't know how that'll work though. There's only
Yeah,
one ball. You got three ball dominant players. Like I don't know if that'll work.
yeah, and they Brooklyn will have to give up half the team from what it has been. You talking about Jared Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, with
Yeah,
somebody else, and draft picks and everything else. So they basically will be married to that team for the next 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
and the problem with that too is the Nets were good because of the way they play together. It's ball moved and like, and then you add two ball dominant players to players that were good playing with each other. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's gonna fit or not. I guess I gotta see it. You know what I mean? Just to see how it fits
yeah.
together.
I mean, they got D'Antonio as the assistant coach. So
Yeah, but it's different being an assistant coach than being a head guy. And like you have a rookie head coach. So I mean, it's hard for rookie head coach. It's in general in the NBA. But then you got a rookie head coach with two perennial all stars, almost one definite Hall of Famer, the other one might probably be a Hall of Famer at some point. Like it's gonna be hard trying to coach them. You know what I mean? Like they already set in their ways at this point. Like so,
yeah,
I mean,
I think Steven Silas has got his hands full too.
yeah, Westbrook and Harden.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys have any players in the draft that everybody's sleeping on?
to me, Khalil Whitney. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him just because of what they saw with Kentucky. But like at that size, that length, and the way he can score, and the way he can defend also, I think he'll be a good player, especially in that league now, because he can defend multiple positions. He can defend from like the 2 to the 4. So I mean, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. People are sleeping on Cole Anthony. People are sleeping on Nico Manning.
Yep.
I think that kid
Yes.
can play too. Because and again, fit like Arizona. He went to Arizona. He pick and roll player in East space, and they had a couple big guys, so it wasn't really a lot of space on the court.
Yep.
So he never really actually got to show what he does well at Arizona. So like it was, I think there's definitely some players people are sleeping on.
You know who I think will be all right too? I don't know how it's going to pan out in the league, but the league loves shooting. The kid from Vanderbilt, I think his name is Aaron Naismith or something like that. He's a really good shooter. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like if you can shoot really well, they'll find a spot for you somewhere.
Right.
That's true. All
Right.
teams need shooting, especially
Yeah,
right now. Kids can't
Yeah,
shoot 20-something threes a game, so it's like definitely need somebody to put the ball in the basket.
yeah. Stanford has a kid by the name of Terrell Terry, like that, kind of like Trey Young, playing guard
Yeah.
6'3". He could shoot like an unlimited range. So, like Kenyatta said, if you could shoot, they'll find you a spot on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
man. But again, guys, listen, it's great talking to you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Theo.
Yes.
What's up?
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. We'd love to have you back sometime again.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself, man. Thanks for the wisdom,
Yeah,
man. And
I
your
do too, man.
evaluation,
Appreciate
listen,
both
your
of y'all.
evaluation is on point too, by the way. But these players, man, was on point. Your
Oh yeah,
evaluation, man, spot
thank,
on. Definitely
thank
spot
you. You
on.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, guys, we'll get a chance to see what happens this week. We'll check everybody out next week. And Jamal, we definitely want to have you on again.
All
For
right, cool, man.
sure.
Appreciate it, man. Just let me know. I'll come on.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Okay, have a
Have
good
a
Enjoy.
good
night.
night.